I'm Dolo, and I'm good with that.
Don't fuck with me. I'm
backed by God, so I don't even know how to have the fear you need me to have.
Boy, if you weak ass niggas even thought of doing something to me, I light y'all bitch ass up.
I don't fuck with nobody. So when you fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck with you.
You want to be somewhere where people are all trying to grow. And if you going behind, guess what they gonna do? Tell you, hey bro, you to get right or get the hell on. You see what I'm saying? But them the type of people you need to be around because that holds you to a standard.
If you can't receive someone telling you something, and even if you don't like who's saying it, if you're focused on what they're who's saying it, then what they're saying, you're not emotionally intelligent.
That's a fact.
You're emotional.
God put me through a lot of trials and tribulations so that I wouldn't get complacent, so that I could remember who the fuck I am.
Obsessed with finding myself now and not having to prove anything to anybody other than myself.
Believe in wins and lessons. Ain't no such thing as a loss. Everything is a lesson.
You can't let nothing break you. I don't care what the situation is, my nigga. Don't let that shit break you, because it's always a way.
Stay you. Be you, be different. Don't try to follow no ways. What work for somebody else ain't gonna work for you.
Oh, I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to, I'm scrubbing, better myself. Or I'm just trying to be a better person. Yeah.
Giving your best is enough. And sometimes we lose track of that. So for anybody out there, you know, you're enough.
If one door closed, another one gonna open.
I'm someone you really shouldn't put your hands on. So just make sure that this what you want, because I'm not gonna stop, and I'm very resourceful.
Yo, it's your boy Light Buddha Mike back at it again with another TikTok live reaction. How is it going, family? Angela the doll in the building. Yo, let's get it. Thank y'all for coming over. We're going to have a couple of guests come through tonight, you know what I'm saying, from the Cannabis Community Streamer Agency, you know what I'm saying. We like to keep it out, you know, these people from Cali, so y'all might know them. Y'all might know them. I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know. But shit. Hopefully so. Oh, I gotta show the comments. All right, there it is. There it is. All right, let's start. Let's start it, because y'all already know who I am.
See, I'm not one of them niggas that know a lot about a little. I know a little about a lot, bitch. I might not be the brightest candle on the cake, but bitch, I'm lit.
Yeah.
Father God, I am just learning how to pray. Bear with me. First, I thank you for the life of everyone that's here with me. Then I thank you for the love you give me. Why? I don't know. I don't deserve it. It hurts inside. Many a nights I cried and called your name out loud, but didn't call you when I was doing good. Too proud. Yet still you gave me love. I wasn't used to that. See, most of the people that gave me love ended up taking it back. This is something new to me, so I'm asking you for time to adjust. Let me make it there. I will be one you can trust. You gave me a love most of my life I didn't know was there. In the name of Jesus, I give you my life, because you cared. Amen.
Okay, ready? I'm gonna be.
Bitch on the ride of my back like a Mustang. I got a watch on my wrist, is a bust down. See ya. I'm tryna hop on a flight out of town. See ya. But I see my baby to bring it around. See ya.
That part. We hitting good today.
Cenomix. Okay? Cenomix is a transnational company that creates flavor enhancement for products for transnational companies like Pepsi, Kraft, Nestle, Campbell's. And what they've been doing is that they grabbed kidney cells from human aborted fetuses. So they grab these kidney cell lines, las células sanguíneas de los riñones de bebés abortados, and in laboratory they replicate these cells and they put them in all your products. Lo ponen en los productos. What products are we talking about? Well, we're talking about your Gatorade. Drink some aborted babies. Yes, seriously. We're talking about Lay's chips. Yeah, that's why they taste so good, don't they? Pepsi products, all right? Tropicana juices, Dasani water, Minute Maid. We have to not consume anything from these companies. And tell them that we're not going to participate in their insane ritual.
Further details on Cenomics and its new sweet enhancing ingredients. And Chris, were you able to find out how the sweet mix additive actually works?
So Cenomics wouldn't actually talk to me for this story, but from what I've found from other scientists I talked to is that it basically, the ingredient interacts with the taste receptors on the tongue. And what it essentially does is it tricks the brain into thinking that there's actually more sugar than the amount of sugar that's actually in the food.
So since this would lower the calorie consumption of soft drinks, making them taste sweeter with less sugar in them, why are some scientists concerned about the health impact?
So the main concern is obviously you would want to have any new ingredient kind of vetted really well before it goes into food. And the main concern is that the FDA actually didn't review this for safety. And it doesn't have to be, because there's a loophole in a 57-year-old law which basically allows companies to have their ingredients reviewed by an industry trade group. And in this case, what happens is a company like Cenomics and other flavor companies will go to the trade group that represents the flavor industry. It's called the Flavor and Extract Manufacturers Association. And they have a panel of experts that review the safety of these ingredients. But critics of this loophole basically say that companies like Cenomics are exploiting it and that the FDA should be reviewing these.
And what did that group find?
So there's a consumer group called the Center for Science in the Public Interest based in Washington, D.C. And what they did is they took a look to see if at 4 sweetness enhancing ingredients from Cenomics, including this latest one, and they wanted to see what studies were done. And what they found is that some studies that are recommended by the FDA weren't completed. And they think that these studies should be done. One study for Sweet Mix actually was a reproduction study to see how it affects reproduction. And they say that these ingredients should be vetted a lot more and that the federal government should be doing it.
Sure. So what is Cenomics and Pepsi saying about these concerns?
So Cenomics, Pepsi, and the trade group all declined interview requests, but they said in written statements that that these were properly reviewed and that they're safe, and that the industry also says for a lot of these that these are used in very small amounts and the risk is very little.
Now, will this new ingredient actually be labeled like aspartame or any other artificial sweetener?
So no, actually it's going to be artificial flavors. So it's not going to be listed like aspartame and other ingredients are actually individually on the food label.
So it'll just be lumped in. You'll see on the ingredients.
It'll just say artificial flavors and it'll be under there.
When is Pepsi going to start selling this enhanced drink with this enhanced additive?
Sure, so it's coming to store shelves this fall. It's going to be in 2 products to start. It's going to be in mug root beer in 2 test markets in Denver and Philadelphia, and then another drink called Manzanita Soul, which is, they're going to put that in all the Manzanita Souls all across the country. It's mainly sold in the Southwest.
Crazy world we live in, you guys. We're just trying to make it. They just trying to make it worse for us to make it. Just because they're talking about it doesn't mean they're going to do anything exactly. Yo, Bane, let me get you in there real quick. Let me hit that for you. Got one of the best theme poppers out there, yo. Get your moderation over here in the nation of freedom shit. Because technically we are what we call revolutions, or revolutionaries. What up, Shoes? Shoes in the building. Let's keep it moving.
Just announced that the air quality has reached officially toxic levels in California in the Central Valley because of that damn cloud. And also, people are reporting, even though it doesn't show up on this map, like, it's freaking foggy in the eastern United States as well. And people are saying it's persistent. And people are saying this fog has been going on since Thanksgiving. Like, it's persistently persisting. And we also saw what's happening in Washington with that insane rain they just had, where a cloud stood over the same area for like 22 hours straight, dumping a bajillion gallons. It was very anomalous, I would say. But in a totally unrelated note about the fog and clouding, are you aware what happened in the 1970s? Because right now, you're kind of a theorist if you think that, you know, we're being sprayed with anything, right? Like, they would never do that, right? Well, actually, you would be wrong. In 1971, they dispersed zinc cadmium sulfide and radioactive isotopes over much of the US and Canada to test.
See, a lot of people be breathing that shit in. Don't even got a mask on, you know what I'm saying? I was telling my guy, Black Hoodie, to tell our guy, move, man. You gotta breathe with a mask on if you're gonna be out in the fog, you know what I'm saying? That shit gonna fuck you up. Get you some protection. It's crazy what's going on in Mexico right now, but Trump did say he would go after the cartel. Yeah. Yo, there he is. There's Cannabis All-Star. Let's get him up in here. Said the fog and rain is different out here in Cali. Yeah. Yes, it is. Shit, Angela's out there in Cali. She know about it. But yeah, man, y'all want to come up, man, just hit that link at the top of the page. Set up coming in. You know what I mean? I got y'all.
Breaking news, Tucker Carlson thinks that God's chosen people should have to prove it.
Abram's descendants are the ones who have the right to have this land.
Go ahead,
correct?
water them trees,
yes.
Brody.
Okay. Why don't we do genetic testing on everybody in the land and find out who Abram's descendants are? It's really simple. We've cracked the human genome. We can do that. Why don't we do that? Would you be against doing that?
I have no idea what that would prove. I mean, maybe it would be.
What do you mean? It would prove who Abram's descendants are and who has a right to live here and who doesn't, according to the theology that you yourself just explained. And so I'm very confused as to why we don't do that. If you believe the theology that you've just explained to me.
Would we do that all over the world?
Well, and everybody this is the only country in the world that you've said has this covenant with God, that this people have a moral and legal right to the land.
What about people who convert to Judaism? Would they have a right?
Well, you've just said,
I mean,
that
there
it's
are converts to Judaism, so
you just told
they
me,
can make Aliyah. They may not have
You've just
DNA.
told me that it doesn't matter. You told me moments ago, trying to keep track,
okay,
that it doesn't matter whether or not you believe in God or whether or not you practice Torah Judaism or Rabbinic Judaism, which is something else that I don't even know if we should, I don't even know what that means. But it doesn't matter whether you're, quote, a religious Jew or not. What matters is that you are part of the Jewish people to whom God gave this land that extends from the Nile to the Euphrates. And so if you believe that, wouldn't you want to know with a burning passion who those people are? And because of science, we can now know who those people are. So why aren't we finding out?
I guess you could propose a DNA test for everybody who comes here, everybody who lives here. But the point
I'm comfortable with secular nation states where none of this is done on the basis of blood. I'm uncomfortable with that. I'll just say that.
True. So I would rather them people have paperwork saying who they descendants is, but shit, they kind of fuck that up for a lot of people of the, that people. A lot of people of that people. Shit, half of the people don't even know they that people. They still think they black. You know what I mean? It's not good peoples. It's not good peoples. Let's keep going on.
That. Okay, so Jeffrey Epstein, sure, we all know Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. Rest in peace. He was was also obsessed with bioengineering.
Oh yeah, like nanotechnology and shit, right?
Well, biotechnology, and so he had all of these scientists that he would donate money to their charities, and he would have them work on things and stuff. And people were saying that he was trying to create he wanted to basically be able to alter genes and make different kinds of life and stuff like that. But what I heard, and this is completely unsubstantiated, but I heard it and I thought it was fascinating, was that he also had these same guys, because they were disease specialists and everything like that. He had them design a novel coronavirus that was his kill switch. Basically, that was his trump card, which is I don't go to jail or I release this shit.
That's probably what the Epstein files was. But hey, eating tacos and wings, nice. But you said you was you worked at the theology center. That's cool.
How can we hang out hey, we can hang out in my chat. You don't want somebody to pump you, make you bigger than you already are? Who are you? What can you do for me? Only time will tell, right? What can you do for
the
me?
The moment this nigga sold his soul.
My man, did you want to take out my contact number? We gotta set that on top. Well, no, what can you do for me? Huh? What can you do for me? The thing is, what could I not do for you? Ooh. Can you give 10,000 subs? 10,000 what? One more time? Subs. Clarify that, please. That's subscriptions. On live stream. I can get you a lot more. Yeah.
And your job was to
how do I link in with this guy, dude?
And
he might be Illuminati.
Use creators or podcasters as an asset for the CIA's objectives. How might you design that plan if we were just hypothesizing?
You would have to have a goal that would be specific enough that you could actually track the progress to it. So you can't just say, well, I'm going to pay this podcaster X amount of money and we're going to do something with the algorithm to make him vastly popular among men, 18 to 30, let's say. There's got to be more to it than that. It has to be a message. You've got to be able to get a specific, well-honed message out there. And the message can be anything.
Right now, their message is alcohol, women, and drugs. They're not teaching us how to build a business. They're not teaching us how to make your own jobs for people. You know what I'm saying? Sakai is in the club now. Yeah, he been in the club when he started talking to Jaden and Will. He been in the club when he didn't want to fuck with Diddy. I mean, when he wanted to act like he wasn't Diddy's son. I'm gonna say he been in the club when he started fucking up with Kanye West and saying his shit looked janky and shit while he was on stream, and Kanye called him up and he made Kanye look like a fool. And then two weeks later, he want to say, oh yeah, he want to talk about his daughter's name and shit. Like, yeah, we fuck with her. But this dude, what it is this dude. Kai is a plant on a different level. See, the people who adopted him and gave him the stream and setup and all that shit, they knew what they were doing when they started. The kid started off doing a little fruity shit. You know what I'm saying? So already he was on the Diddy tip. And then Ray outed the dude, said that, yeah, he made him gay. He's gay now. You know what I'm saying? He made him gay. He's like, I didn't want to be gay, but he made me gay. I'm like, what the fuck? Nigga, what the fuck? I mean, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Can't really do too much about it now, man. You done lost that. Can't get that back.
Hey, man, Texas tenderism is in full effect, man. Them people did my boy wrong, man. They did our favorite uncle wrong as hell, bruh. But we not worried about none of that, man, because we already bought the building. We got it down here. We got the barbecue truck down here. So it's connected. However he want to do it. If he want to travel or he want to work straight out his restaurant, he can do what he want. We've been on the phone. It's really happening, man. Them people did my man's wrong, bro. They exploited him. They exploited our uncle, man. They exploited him, man. They used him, man. These racist ass white people use to the fullest of what they can get out of him. And the second he stepped away, because he was doing it out the heart, out the loyalty, they trademarked the word tenderism, fired him, and told him if he can't use it no more, we gonna sue him. So we breaking all that. That's dead. We done already trademarked another way to say tenderism. He good. We give him his own restaurant. He ain't got to pay for nothing. We coming out of pocket for everything. All we ask y'all to do is, man, bless Unc Game, man. Go send a couple dollars to Unc, man. Y'all already know what time it is. Let's get Unc going.
Hey, this is official Mr. Tenderism coming to y'all. You know, I just got off the freeway kind of late at night, but I want to know y'all come on my page. Official Mr. Tenderism, Walter Johnson. Yes, sir. Y'all come on down now. I'm the Tenderism original. Not nobody else. The original Tenderism. Booyah.
You know what I'm saying? On Black History Month, how you gonna do that shit to us? How you gonna take advantage of us like this? We already get 28 days. We don't even get a full 32, whatever the fuck everybody else do. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, official Mr. Tenderism. Y'all go get it. You know what it is.
What was the actual reason?
Well, that's the U.S. government told us it was for 9/11. They told us that they were part of it, that they had weapons of mass destruction.
But they knew they had nothing to do with 9/11, obviously. There's no evidence.
But I'm
so
telling
what
you
was the
that
actual
Israel was
reason?
not in that component. But
Israel had no influence on our decision to invade Iraq. That's not what the people who made the decision say. They say Israel.
Well, let me get back to the point.
Gave us that information about the fake weapons of mass destruction. Where do you think that came
question
from?
was,
It came from Bibi.
How many Americans put their boots on the ground for Israel? The answer is zero.
Everybody who served in Iraq put their boots on the ground for Israel.
Did not.
Where did we get the information about the weapons of mass destruction that wasn't real?
We didn't get that from. You're saying we got that from Israel? That Israel was one pushed us into that?
Well, absolutely.
You really believe that?
I know that for a fact. And so does every. Yes, this has been widely written about and discussed. And I'm not attacking Israel. Like, they thought it was in their interest to take out a government that was paying the families of suicide bombers. I get it. I'm not mad at Israel about that. I never have been. I'm mad at the Bush administration.
So the same thing happened out here in a local spot restaurant. It is going to close down, but Rick Ross and Big X, the plug, are thinking of going in together to keep the spot open for the owner. Hey, Jen, what up? What up? Welcome back. Welcome back. So that would be nice. Only thing is, you know, I don't fuck with Ricky Rose, and now I don't even know if I can fuck with Big X, man. You know what I'm saying? They might, cause look at Rose's Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Diddy is Epstein. Jay-Z is Diddy. Jay-Z is technically Epstein too. You know what I'm saying? So, like, all them people is connected. That industry plants. They're there to fuck with your mind and take it away from you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta work on this though. Trying to get it back. We don't need them people. We need these.
Like, I already told y'all, a lot of these rappers gonna be getting killed and going to jail. They're gonna be coming out with stories saying they either got killed or saying they got locked up with cases that's facing a lot of years because a lot of them was involved in this sex trafficking and this blood drinking. I already told y'all that. They gonna be saying they was getting locked up, saying they was all of this stuff, saying they died. I told y'all this is coming up because these rappers were involved in this sex trafficking shit, helping the elites. And they don't want to tell y'all that, so they rolling different stories out. You know what I'm saying? All right? But none of this shit adding up. They just said Lil Loaded killed himself over a girl. Okay, you believe that, really? Man, a superstar can get any chick in the world, he killed himself over a girl? All right, whatever. Now the baby involved in the shooting, his name coming up and shit that could potentially get him locked up for a long time. I told y'all, man. All right?
Yeah, dude, see if X do this shit, dude, it's gonna be dope. But like I said, I don't fuck with Rose, so if he ordered just riding coattails, it's a different thing. You know what I'm saying? He on that nigga dick. We trying to get away from Rose, cause Rose on the other shit. We want to be over here on the good side. You know what I'm saying? Righteous people working for the people. We don't want the people working against the people because they all evil. But yeah, I digress. Let's keep it moving.
Dark predictions for March 7th. You should probably know what's going on March 7th. If not, search it in the top here. There's loads of videos about it. I've been asking loads of people. No one knows what's happening. But it's just right there. I don't know how much we're allowed to talk about, guys. I'm sorry that I can't like tell you everything, because if I do, this might get... you know what I mean? Just like my last channel, Dark Predictions. It got banned at 870,000. So if you're out there and you recognize me, this is my new channel, Positive Predictions. If you see me anywhere else, it's not my channel. If the background's changed and it's some weird background, that's a fake channel. There's 2 or 3 channels on here pretending to be me, uploading my videos. It's not me. Anyways, March 7th, make sure to search it up. Maybe even get involved. This will be a worldwide major event. There'll probably be dark predictions. They're probably going to try to do something weird. Probably even a situation where we're not allowed to talk about it. Let's see if this post gets blocked. If you can do me a favor, click those buttons, comment, do anything you can to try to get more people aware of what's happening March 7th.
Hey, you got a good point there, Red Cat. But you know how it is, man. TikTok be giving you what TikTok be giving you, man. I thought that was a legit video. I thought he was gonna explain it. Like I said, I don't be watching that shit. It's TikTok live reactions, you know what I'm saying?
I told Jake, I know it, I can feel it coming. Today's the day I'm gonna have to tell a little bit more on my fear of the serpent, because there are a lot of serpents around here. There's serpents, you know, with the, you know, serpentine head thing. What do you call them? Lizards and turtles have it too. I'm not sure, but it's like a serpent head. And it looks kind of like a bird head too, because there's 3 things I'm terrified of most. Birds, serpents, and cats. I'm terrified of those 3 things.
That's weird. That's weird. Why would she be afraid of cats? I mean, cats are spiritual animals. Said if aliens come, I hope they bring that alien smoke. I don't want no smoke unless it's good weed, you know what I'm saying? So no one's going to work, pay rent or bills or shop. Shit, we could you know what? March 7th would be a good day to boycott the system, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That would be a good day to just I'm done. When's March 7th? Is that like on a weekday? I could do that. Let's keep moving.
Okay, this video was just released from, I assume, the ISS, of Earth from space, clearly extremely curved, and there's a couple things that don't quite add up when you actually analyze this. Before we can do that, though, in its entirety, you have to hear the audio from this clip, and that's where things get a little bit weird. And by the way, I'm sure they're not using a fisheye lens. So listen carefully. Do you hear that? This is the official video they released. What's that noise, you might be wondering? Wait a minute, is there sound in space? So I decided it'd be fun to ask ChatGPT about this, and it gave me a pretty interesting answer. So no, there's no sound in space, unless you're in like a nebula or something, which I'm sure is real, right? Then I say, then why is there sound on a NASA video looking at the Earth from the ISS? And it says, oh, that's a classic confusion. The sound you hear from NASA videos from the International Space Station is not coming from space itself, it's coming from inside the ISS. And I say, no, the video is filmed outside of the ISS. And then it says, oh, that detail changes things a bit and explains why it seems confusing. If the camera is outside the ISS, any sound you hear cannot be coming through the vacuum of space. It's physically impossible. Sound needs a medium. So he says, here's what's actually happening. Audio is added in post-production. For public-facing videos, NASA often overlays sound like crew voices, machinery hums, and ambient effects, so the video is more engaging. And then get this, does NASA use CGI? Yes, but not in the way conspiracy theories suggest. It's for scientific visualization, simulating black holes, galaxies, planetary atmospheres, and spacecraft trajectories. Okay, but they do use CGI. That's all I got. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
Yeah, man, it's all CGI. Fucking fake watery under the sea scuba diving ass motherfuckers. Motherfucker try to tell me they in outer space, but I know space is water. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no dummy. I'm a Kevin Costner realist. You know what I mean? Live on a water world.
So you got the media distracting you with the 3 million Epstein files that just got dropped. Cool. Meanwhile, you have the spiritual community speaking about what the sun is about to get ready to drop. Do you guys see how angry that thing is? Oh my goodness. You guys cannot tell me that y'all have not been feeling that energy from the sun. This is the only thing to really talk about, y'all. I told y'all that the sun is angry, bro. It's been trying to send us light codes and they've been stopping it. I mean, wouldn't you be angry too if you were getting bombarded and poisoned by chemtrails every single day? Look at this. See, what people are failing to connect and what they didn't teach us in school is that the sun is a living, conscious, super intelligent, breathing being. And this expression over here should literally show you that the sun
that shit
is
look
meaning
like
business.
at
You
us
see,
with
y'all,
one eye?
the sun has its own mission. And the mission for the sun is to bring light and awareness to the planet because light is intelligence. So the sun's mission is to literally shine. And these people are stopping the sun from doing what it's supposed to be doing. So you too would look this angry. It's the same thing as us, man. We be minding our own business and then they be up in our face. We be like, bro, let me do my thing. Let me do my thing. You can appreciate from afar, but don't try to suffocate me. Don't try to poison me. Yeah, bro, I'm speaking up. You see, we live in a multi-universal world. You have the fake media talking about the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, that stuff that don't really matter. But then you have the spiritual world speaking about the stuff that really does matter. And everybody feels the energy, y'all. And I'm not taking away from the fact that the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing wasn't a barbaric act of nature. But the fact of the matter is, this is nothing new. These people have been doing this. This is all a distraction for what's really going on. There are some big things taking place this year. This is the age of truth. Truth is a frequency. So you must walk and talk in the frequency of truth, or you will be judged. And there's only one truth left, y'all. But just like I said, everybody knows it, but nobody wants to say it. So the sun's gonna be the one to say it. Let me know what you guys think about this video, y'all. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
Says that AI juice. I don't know, man. He look a little bit more fed, you know, that's all. I mean, he eat good in the neighborhood wherever he at now. Saw him live other day at No Grill. Well, those might be snapshots. You know, they got them. So let's keep moving.
Oh my gosh, he's completely alive.
Now that all these Epstein files being released, this Ellen and Ann's used to be relationship make perfect sense now. When you think about this.
His driver was identified as Ann Heche. You can see we slowed it down a little bit for you as firefighters were trying to help this woman get the help that she needed from the hospital as she crashed into this house and the fire, like you heard just me say a little bit ago, they were trying to put that out.
Now they call Ann Heche deceased on the scene while putting her on the stretcher, while leading her to the ambulance. Why did she try to get off the stretcher before they put her in the ambulance on national TV?
On the other side of the vehicle. Oh my gosh.
So for those of you who always talking about why he always talking about Jesus, cause he always put me on game, exposing darkness with his light.
Hey, if she was driving a Tesla B, you already know what that means. Tesla might be part of that team. Shit. Shade. What up? Hey, 40. Said what it do. That's twice as high as you. But man, that should be crazy as fuck. Said she was gonna talk. They had to silence her just like Kirk. Yeah. In a vehicle as well. A report said they saw someone hanging out the car when going to the hospital. Damn. She did a movie about the human trafficking, and then that happened. Oh yeah, because she was against it, and then Ellen was all for it. You know who she was hanging out with? Fucking Oprah, all them niggas, all them niggas.
We do not know how long we have been underground, or who built the silo. We do not know why there is no life outside the silo. We only know that here is safe, and there is not.
What's the big question? What if everything you know to be true was one big lie?
What we see is not what's out there.
We do not know why we are here. We do not know who built the silo and why we are underground. We only know the world outside our sanctuary is death.
Do you ever think about the world beyond the silo?
What if what we see is not what's out there?
Down in mechanical, there's always someone who has a theory about the silo. I need to find out the truth.
So everything can be made into a ball, but it works on a flat surface anyways. You know what I'm saying? Every map that they use is flat. And even on their ball, globe, I should say globe, even on your globe, because people don't know that they're worshiping ball when they use it. It says not scientifically accurate, just a model. You know what I'm saying? And then it says what is it? Fictional on a couple of TV shows, mostly Sesame Street was one of them. Said my balls are round and flat. You know what? They're just curvature, kind of like a peanut. You know what I mean? But mine's like cashew.
Regarding the GATE program and any other child development program that's in schools for extraordinary students or gifted and talented students, there was this comment yesterday's episode. Nika wrote, "Hey, Shannon, a tag GATE kid here, total memory blackout from ages 4 to 10, the exact years," because that was responding to a comment of somebody else who had a memory blackout being a part of this program. The exact years that I was at Fort Hood on base. Later 80s, early 90s, military brat. Dad was a doctor doing residency adjacent to a biolab at the Army hospital. I wouldn't follow protocol as a kid after the program had skipped me a grade, etc. And so after the Army, I got shuffled through 4 different schools that I later discovered are all connected to the DoD through the Aspen Education Group. I think they changed the name. I have docs, but yeah. And shell companies. I've gone through hell and back with loads of FOIAs to my name, just trying to figure out what happened to me at Turnabout Ranch in Escalante, Utah. New Horizons Academy, now closed for abuse in Marion, Indiana. Its sister school, child slaver labor work camp in the middle of nowhere called Missinaibi Woods Academy in Canada. They have another school in the DR, but I didn't go there. Also, Darlington in Rome, Georgia, and of course, Texas. The struggle is real. Keep up the good fight, Candace. Thanks for making it safe to talk about this publicly. I legit have gone through hell and back, and I know of a neighborhood because of all of this. I'm grateful I don't fit in, not cut from the same cloth, but whatever happened to us as kids, we deserve answers. It's really interesting to think about what is the actual aim of these programs, probably to identify kids and make sure that if they are in any measure brilliant, and I'm not saying that I'm brilliant, I just happen to be in one of these programs, they probably want you to work for the government. They probably want to make sure that they can track you, and that is a totally sensible conclusion, especially if you read through the comments. Guys, you must.
Yeah, especially if you're an experiment that they've been conducting for since birth. I mean, it's like the Truman Show, man. We're all being watched by somebody. Everybody's being watched by somebody. You don't know who's watching you sometimes, but you know that somebody's watching you. Said, who goes to the ranch thinking it's legit these days? Facts. Said, I'm glad I'm ugly. Nobody tried to touch me. Hey, benefits of being an ugly duckling, you know what I'm saying? So you get better as you age. That's the best part. See? It's like good wine, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm sure this is a coincidence, but according to Grok, it is true. You remember when the bloody horses were running through the United Kingdom? They were royal horses and they escaped and a big chaos ensued. They actually ran 6 miles. Did you know that Prince Andrew was arrested 666 days after this event on his 66th birthday? And when he was arrested, according to all the official sources, it was 6 unmarked police cars carrying the officers that went to arrest him at his castle. So 6 police cars, 66th birthday, 666 days after what many people were shocked, by the way. The whole horse incident was like a eerie omen almost. Also, White Horses, Behold a Pale Horse. Remember that book? And this is confirmed by Grok, by the way. It was, in fact, yes, his 66th birthday. And yes, exactly 666 days after the April 24th, 2024 horse incident. But then it says no official sources confirm 6 officers involved because someone tweeted it wrong. It was 6 police cars. So I'm sure that's nothing, not like our reality is encoded with symbolism and numerical codings. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
Everything is gene. Gotta be having genomes, genealogy. Everything has to do with something, man. Numerology. Fuck all that shit. I'm just trying to survive and live in peace. I want something to do so I don't feel like I'm dead. You know what I'm saying?
This is the first step along your path to a gateway beyond which is discovery, your own discovery of reality, of truth, of who and what you are.
Said red, they blah blah. Well, the thing is, certain numbers align with you. Certain colors align with certain days. Ooh, and shit like that. Damn, that shit hit.
I can't play around. I fucked up Piers Morgan shit. He sent me a fucking DMCA.
Wait, what'd you do?
I was supposed to like not live stream the interview with Piers Morgan, and I just waited until the producer took off his headset, then hit go live.
Wow.
Yes, we do. Just like your birthday. You know what I'm saying? This date has a name, the month, and then you have the year and the day. It says name and number. Name and number shit. everywhere we go.
My brother Jay-Z, Team Rock, Adam Blackstone, Hell's Kitchen, the Most High.
Good evening, godless sodomites. Kneel before your God, Babylon!
Making me the highest paid megalomaniacal boy king in all of Babylon!
You see, if you go and visit the very home of the Oscars, where they hold it each year, you can see a plaque on the wall that says the Babylonian Court. The camera shows you the stage, and you see an unmistakable Tower of Babel embedded into the design. Outside of the Kodak Theater, you have the gates to Ishtar, and you have Babylonian gods put on the outside of the gates. They have the exact elephants. They have the same exact gate of Ishtar. They have the same exact Babylonian gods over the top of the gates.
A lot of people come up here and they thank Jesus for this award.
All them people are going to hell because they so. So I used to talk about my mom having me every year. That's funny.
What's this here? Les Wexner's attorney during his House Oversight Committee deposition.
It was just regularly done. Answer the question. 5 words, okay?
Oh, you said thank you. Yeah, thank you. All right.
Answer the question, okay? It was just
Hey, tell me why that nigga answered that shit in four words. It was just right. That was it. That was it. You didn't want to die that night. Look at what played.
What's this here? Les Wexner's attorney during his House Oversight Committee deposition.
It was just regularly done. Answer the question. 5 words, okay? Answer the question, okay? It was just
It was just Ray. Bro, I wonder why Jewish people got so much plug. What it is this, dude. The system was made by them. This is why they assassinate every president that tries to take out the banking industry from the federal industry. Because these two things should not be the same. If you understand. Just like how the post office don't got shit to do with the government. They're their own industry. That's why they always run it. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're what do they call that? A union, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And in that union, you pay, they give you jobs. You don't pay, you'll still have the union, but you won't get a job until you pay. You have to pay to make money. Ain't no money, you don't make no money. It's a weird world we live in.
Footage recorded inside restricted Vatican corridors.
These were never meant for public viewing.
Icons predating modern classification.
Certain agencies insist this iconography remain concealed. In opposing that position, I have been warned that I may be framed as acting against the iconography we are examining reflects an older European reality, one shaped by Moorish presence and early state power. These images are not symbolic outliers. They were preserved, long predating modern classification. They reflect continuity, cultural and historical.
I always wonder, why? Why all these Bible movies with no people of color? These people that are supposed scholars that go through all this great and vivid detail, all this extensive research, and then have these characters in these movies of the Bible, including Jesus, portrayed by the European white man, by the European standard, as close as possible to say that it's Middle Eastern. So much deliberate intention on not including the melanated skin that it makes you wonder, is that really the truth?
And then they tell us that he's a white Jew. But that shit ain't true either. But hey, we know today, because they can't play us. Too many people know before they knew, and now them people telling us too. So ain't shit else to do but what they want to do right now is that's trying to make us go to war with ourselves. We ain't having no civil war. What we gonna do is tell you to stop. Lay your guns down, quit your positions, you know what I'm saying? And we'll find other people to fill them for you because obviously you're not made for this role. If you don't do that, there's other ways that you can go. Because you gotta remember, there's a gun store on every corner that there's a liquor store. And some people got problems, and you'll just have a little bit more. So white folks, the last race to appear, the clues and the info is out there for real, Red. For real.
That became known as the Facebook Papers. They showed Meta did nothing despite knowing young girls were being pushed pro-eating disorder material on their platforms. That's what the algorithms were choosing to show her, or them as young women. Also exposed the platforms, exempted millions of high-profile users, including celebrities and politicians, from the normal content standards. In April of last year, whistleblowers testified that Meta execs helped the Chinese government develop censorship tools in exchange for more access to the Chinese market. And just in this past September, Meta agreed to a $725 million settlement for allowing third parties to gain access to users' personal information. The court of public opinion may already be weighing in, with a whopping 86% of Americans saying it is time that big tech is held accountable for their role in a social media addiction crisis.
Shit, you said the Book of Clarence? I'm gonna have to check that shit out right there, man. Get that right, you know what I'm saying? Get that right there.
This is the first step along your path to a gateway.
This is your first step on your path to a gateway. Anyway, so this is a deep dive into the GATE project, the Gifted and Talented Education. I have this broken down by category, and the GATE program, aka the Gifted and Talented Education, or known as GT or G&T or even TAG. It all depended on where it was and where you're located when this was going on. A lot of times you'll get things dating back to either the 80s, sometimes 70s, and testimonials even from the 60s. Let's just get started because there's a lot to go through. GATE was supposedly created for those who were higher on the academic ladder, so that way they could get the correct education that they deserved and needed in order for them to progress. These classes were not in your normal schoolroom or in the building. Sometimes they were in the building, but they'd take you to a other room that either you didn't really know about, or it was some other, let's say, education room that just wasn't used. Other than that, there are reports of people being taken off their normal school campus and going to a gifted and talented education facility. As to where these are, they vary, but they were all over the country at different points in time. So other than giving them the opportunity to progress, they would also give them more challenging courses higher than the average curriculum that they were getting. What would normally happen from a lot of these testimonials is that you'd be sitting in class and everything would be going according to plan, according to your daily agenda. And all of a sudden, somebody would walk into the classroom, come up to you and say, you know, we have to go somewhere. We have to go do a test really quick. Or they would say something along those lines to get you to come out of the classroom with them. And this had to have been in conjunction with the teacher, because they would let these people come in and take you out. And so you would usually be taken out solely. So it's just you. There are other people who have said that they've gone with other people. It all, again, depends on who's telling this. And when you go there, you are given these tasks that you're not necessarily briefed on why you're supposed to be taking them. The tests that were given varied drastically. Some of them would come off as hearing tests, IQ tests, and pattern recognition tests. However, things weren't exactly going how they appeared, allegedly. But to fully understand where and how all of this came to be, you have to understand the history of what GATE came from and its own history, as well as its supposed involvement into a couple other things that are concerning to say the least. And I'm not talking like too much cereal in your milk.
Take your skin off. Take it off. I'm in your walls. Take it off. Can't you hear my heartbeat beating through the walls?
See, never really know what they're doing to us in school, other than what loose shits is draining us of energy. You know what I'm saying? And using their power or magic to create whatever future they want. Because it's programming to the mass. You know what I'm saying? They put their ideals on us, and it just took all the ideals of the generation that made people great and corrupted the shit out of it. Now the youth kind of fucked. The past is fucked. The future might be fucked depending on how we take over this shit. You know what I'm saying? But like Voltron, we're gonna come together and activate. You feel me?
This is the island of St. Bartholomew, and all of those purple little triangles are billionaires and their associated super yachts. This photo was taken today because all of these billionaires and their super yachts have decided to converge on St. Bartholomew Island for New Year's. You see, every year around New Year's Eve, the world's elite class, the billionaires and their pet celebrities and pet politicians, gather here, specifically at the Eden Rock Hotel, for a super yacht festival. For reference, this is where the Eden Rock Hotel is, if you're in the area. Also feels important to point out that this is where St. Bartholomew is, and this is Jeffrey's Island. And this year's guest list is stacked. We've got that evil bald man, Jeff Bezos, Miriam Adelson, that Israeli lady, or American lady, I don't know. Her allegiance kind of depends on the day. And then a bunch of other folks. Also, notably, Dr. Phil is there. I saw he was on the list this year as well. This next figure just drives me a little bit insane, so I have to tell you, but over the next few days, over 80% of all of the wealth on Earth will congregate on St. Bartholomew. Last year, 173 people attended the New Year's Eve celebration at the Eden Rock Hotel, which is located right there. And we are literally looking at most of all of the wealth on Earth right there. Just thought that was really interesting.
That's weird. They didn't let me put they try. But, you know what I'm saying? They'll end up getting unalive too, because they're going to eat them. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. These people are cannibals, man. They don't give a fuck about it. Did they hunt us as a sport? Remember the pests? The John Leguizamo? That's them. They like to hunt us. But we're too smart. Grew up in the hood.
Was that evergreen you said?
President Clinton?
Yeah, hi. I'm here to see...
Remember when Justin posted this? Yep, shipping containers and perhaps his baby. Coincidence or dropped hints? Funny Hill's code name is Evergreen. How about this container commercial? Check out the hot spots. Interesting delivery highlights. Now I know we know not everything is connected, but
Toss them overboard, then kill the navigator.
some things are just too coincidental.
Exactly, a lot of things coincide. So, truth is out there.
The GATE program. I remember this vividly, and I want to share with you two experiences. One involves this hearing test, and then another involves textbooks. So I remember that they would take us out of class, and now that I think about it, it was more frequently, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. They would have us listen to these headphones that were plugged into a suitcase. Now you have to remember, this was the late 80s and early 90s. We didn't have personal computers in the way that we have them today, and very efficient and small things. So it was a suitcase with some kind of a computer in it, and these headphones plugged into it. And what we had to do was, they would tell us to listen for the tone on the left or the right side and raise your hand corresponding to the side which the tone played on. Raise your hand when you hear it, and then lower your hand when it stops. Both sides. So you have to understand that you are working on both sides. You may hear one tone on one side, and then a few seconds later, another tone on the other side. So it was like your hands were up and down. I couldn't imagine what it looked like if some...
That's fucked up, bro. Half of that shit is what they do for the driver's test when you see the lower dots and shit. But I remember doing that test, yo. It's weird.
Epstein is a 300-year-old vampire who was previously, in another life, Andrew Jackson, previous president of the United States of America. And it makes sense, right? Because how many, gunshot wounds did he survive? That's not human, right? I mean, how could somebody get shot that many times and just keep going? And now I think that there's a chance that Andrew Jackson and Jeffrey Epstein are, in fact, the same person.
Most of you are not ready to learn the full truth. The Epstein files released in 2026 are only the beginning, and you guys could barely handle that. So if I told you who these people who are famous and in politics and actors and stuff, if I told you who they actually were, you would not believe me, so I will not tell you, because you're simply not ready. But in the near future, you will know the full truth, but it will take years for it to come out, because the broad spectrum of the human race is not ready to learn this yet. They don't know the whole metaphysical side of reality. Jeffrey Epstein is actually a person who has lived for thousands of years old. It's not even, he's Andrew Jackson, he's probably been other people in the past. They act as these public figures to wake up the masses about something, then they disappear for a few years and then they turn to someone else. If you look at gematria, which is just another way to use numerology and insert it into the fabric of reality, you can see with all these words, all these synchronicities, they line up to other phrases. So Jeffrey Epstein 163 is the same thing as he never existed. This is a secondary way of getting the truth to people in an indirect way, because you can't tell people things, you have to show them. And until they are shown what has been going on over a long period of time, they will never believe it or accept it.
That's a fact. So you can manipulate this bullshit to mean anything you want. Yeah. And accurate reading big guts. A lot of shit in these days are. Let's go back to this Earth shit though.
I don't want to fool you.
Last month, for the first time since 1972, NASA released a blue marble, a single snapshot of the Earth taken from outer space. And so much has changed in the decades between that first picture and the second. Borders have shifted, generations have come and gone. Our global population has nearly doubled. But one thing hasn't changed. Our planet is as beautiful as ever. It still looks blue.
In 2002, Blue Marble 2.0, NASA's Rob Simon made this. And it had wide appeal too. For example, it ended up as the default background on the iPhone.
I didn't even know until I bought an iPhone and turned it on and kind of did a little happy dance.
Simon's job is...
It's primarily taking data and making pictures out of it.
That's what this is, a composite of data sets from several different instruments translated into a picture.
To us, the really cool thing was the data set. Up until that point, there was no realistic color map of the globe anywhere.
So the land layer here comes from
the moderate resolution imaging spectroradiometer aboard Terra.
And the tricky part here was the weather.
So we actually had to take clouds out.
They stashed the clouds for later, went onto the ocean. That came from an instrument that measures phytoplankton in the sea.
Where it was low, I colored it dark blue because they're low mostly in mid-oceans. And then where it's a little bit higher, it was like a little bit brighter green.
Then add the clouds back in.
There's a small problem with it because there's a very slight gap in between each orbit.
So some of those are painted on.
It is photoshopped, but it has to be.
Then
there was another layer to sort of simulate the atmosphere.
And then there's this little bright spot.
It's called the specular highlight. So it's the reflection of sunlight off of water.
Those are the pieces, but you can't just slap them all together.
It just didn't look realistic. It looks kind of flat, or the clouds are sort of too see-through. So I just hit Command-Z a lot.
There's artistry to creating the world.
What I imagine it to be. Unfortunately, I'm not an astronaut. I've never been to space. But I've looked at these images over and over again, trying to sort of get the essence of it. It is photoshopped, but it has to be. It is photoshopped, but it has to be.
Yeah, that's what's funny as hell. I mean, technically, dude, real time isn't even real time. You feel me? Because the time is going on at the same time. It's just you're in different places of the clock. You feel me? So time is really just a distance. So however far shit goes, however long it takes, you know what I'm saying? Same shit. Just different words. Weird shit that is. I mean, it's the magic of it, I guess. I'm gonna say like this: the people that bought them phones don't even know that you're not supposed to put it up to your face or keep it in contact with you for like a distance. Like it's supposed to be like this far away. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't supposed to go no closer. So I keep my shit right here. Headset tacked in with the wire. You know what I'm saying? No Bluetooth hit me. Might be some Wi-Fi hit me, but hey. Shit is everywhere. Said, whoever read the goddamn manual. People who got some time, man. You just jump into a game when you get it. Are you gonna read how to play that shit? I mean, shit. My phone in other room, far, far away. Yes, you should. Well, you on a laptop, nigga? Keep moving.
Zodiac represents a principle of righteousness. And you have all the signs in you. Those are energies within you, okay? Well, what you're talking about when you say, I'm a Virgo, I'm a Capricorn, you're talking about your sun sign. That's your focus in life. What did I come into this life to focus on? We all, when we were on at a higher consciousness, we chose this life. We decided, I can accomplish this mission. When the energies were ripe for you to walk the path of the mission you chose, that's when you came into this life to demonstrate that path, you see. Each sign of the zodiac plays a part. It's an energy makeup of you, okay? The sun represents your focus, your moon, how am I emotionally, how do I feel about things? You have a rising sign, what are my actions, what do I do? You know, you have a Mercury sign, how do I think? Venus, how do I love? You have your Mars, how do I fight? What is my aggression? We go to Taurus, we're talking values. Taurus represents what you value in life, you see, our values. Gemini is going to represent understanding. Cancer represents your families, your heritage, your nurturing energy. Leo represents your creativity, your children, your pleasure. This is the ruling energy. Leo represents children, it represents creativity, it represents the rulers, you see. Virgo energy is the healer, you know, the purger, the purifier. Let's cleanse. Libra is the partnership in marriage, you know, or justice, balance, equality. Scorpio represents bonding. Sagittarius, spiritual wisdom. Capricorn, sacrifice, humbleness. You know, Aquarius is the humanitarian. And Pisces is the compassionate one. If you leave one of these principles out, you're an aberrant entity. You're not whole, you're not full, and you're not sacred. And the only way to access the spiritual is to be full and whole and sacred. And that's why the earth is going through this tear down, this degradation, because now it's going against the grain of the dominant force of the universe. The universe is about sacredness, it's about righteousness, it's about being whole and full and using all of these. You know, the powers that be, they're not practicing the Libra, you know, justice. They're not practicing values. They're not practicing humbleness. And if you're leaving out one, just one, you're not whole. You're not full. You don't make the cut. You don't ascend to the higher level, you see.
Yeah. So you could get a PC, which is good. But like if you get a Steam Deck, it's basically like a Pi, which is a PC, and you can run all the games. You know what I'm saying? You just have to make sure you have good shit running that bitch. But PC is what you want. You just have to get everything good for the PC to be playing on a PC, because you can't get a laptop thinking it's a PC, because it's not a PC, it's a laptop. Okay. What you got is a notebook, and you need like a library. You know what I'm saying? Said or a printer or some shit. You feel me? Because notebook ain't gonna do shit for you. It's just gonna piss you off that you wasted your money buying a little fucking laptop. Because I would say like this: laptops are councils of PCs. Yeah, see, Red, you'll be good then. Yeah, that's why I like seeing that shit too. But I don't like that pay to play shit. That's just not good. Because that's what I'm starting to feel like our creators is, but at the same time, dude, there's a lot of people who do that shit, dude. Most games that you want to play are funded or solo single player games. You know what I'm saying? Should I wire in for best bandwidth? Period. Yeah, you gotta stay Etherneted in. Gotta link up with the cables, all that shit. All of that. Delete that. Play this.
See, some people, they talk to you in their free time. But others, they free their time to talk to you. It's a big difference. For real, for real.
Measure the response of music to some sort of healing situation. The first experiment that I conceived of was using blood. You take a vial of blood and you place it into an incubator with a small loudspeaker in the incubator that's feeding music to that blood. At the same time that that's happening, we have another vial of the same blood. We have a Faraday cage, which is electromagnetically screened, but it's also a very, very quiet environment. So that blood is not receiving any music, it's just receiving quiet. We go through a protocol that first dilutes the blood by a certain ratio with a buffer solution, and then we extract a small amount of that mixed blood. When we put that blood into the cell counter, it will tell us how many cells are actually live and what the term is viable. The cells in the Faraday cage have not fared very well at all. Mostly dead.
But if the cells are dead, that means that the cells from the tube that got exposed to my voice, they'll be dead too. I mean, it's the same blood.
I hope you can see this. Dilute the sample. More cells alive than the cell counter can count. That's a huge difference between the music and the quiet.
Does anybody really listen to the words of the Red Hot Chili Peppers song Californication, considering that it was written almost 25 years ago?
Psychic spies from China try to steal your mind's elation, and little girls from Sweden dream of silver screen quotation. It's the edge of the world in all of Western civilization. The sun may rise in the east, at least it's settled in a final location. Pay your surgeon very well to break the spell of aging. Celebrity skin, is this your chin or is that war you're waging? Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. In Cobain, can you hear the sphere singing songs off station to station? And Alderon's not far away, it's Californication. Born and raised by those who praise control of population. Everybody's been there and I don't mean no vacation.
Dream of Californication. It is that shit. Oh man, that's my shit. Cause you know space may be the final frontier, but it's made in the Hollywood basement. No, everybody knows that. You know what I'm saying? They got men in a fucking pool saying that they in space. So I remember all them words in the song. Facts. 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 Keep moving.
It's actually happening. We're about to witness one of the most awaited events of this year. And most people are sleeping on it. If you're watching this before it arrived, then congratulations, you're earlier than most. And that head start is going to mean more than you realize. What's coming on February?
My bad. That's over.
The real silence happens when you start watching the noise of your mind. There is a constant traffic in the mind, thoughts, memories, imaginations, thousands of desires. It is always a crowd moving in all directions. If you can stand by the side of the road and just watch without any evaluation, judgment, without condemning something or appreciating something, just sitting on the bank of the river, watching the flow of the river, unconcerned, detached, just being a pure witness, then the miracle happens. Be aware of the body and its action. Walking, walk with alertness. Don't walk like a robot, like a machine. When thinking, watch what thoughts are moving. Just go on seeing what desires are spinning and weaving their nets around you. Go on watching. Go and watch how subtle dreams are moving like an undercurrent deep down in your subconscious. Watch your feelings and moods, how they suddenly arise as if from nowhere. Just a minute ago you were full of joy, and now you're so sad. Isn't that true? Just watch how it happens. See the bridge. How joy becomes sadness, how sadness becomes joy. I'm not saying to do anything. Meditation is not doing, it's a pure awareness, but a miracle happens. The greatest miracle in life, if you go on watching, tremendous and incredible things start happening. Your body becomes graceful, your body is no more restless and tense, your body starts becoming light. You can see great weights, mountainous weights falling, your body starts becoming pure of all kinds of toxins and poisons. You'll see your mind is no more as active as before. Its activity starts becoming less, and gaps arise in which there are no thoughts. And these gaps are the most beautiful experiences because through those gaps you start seeing things as they are without an interference of your mind. Slowly, slowly your moods start disappearing. You're no more joyous, you're no more sad. The difference between joy and sadness becomes less. And soon a moment of equilibrium is reached when you are neither sad nor joyous. And that is a moment when bliss is felt. That tranquility, that silence, that balance is bliss. There are no more peaks, no more valleys, no more dark nights, no more moon nights. All polarities disappear, and you become settled in the middle. And all those miracles go on becoming deeper and deeper. And ultimately, when your body is in total balance, your mind absolutely silent, your heart is no more full of desires, a quantum leap happens, and suddenly you become aware of the fourth. And that is you. The fourth. You can call it the soul. You can call it God. You can call it whatever you want to call it. You can make up your own name. Lao Tzu called it, because I have no name, I have called it Tao. You can call it X, Y, Z. But to attain it is the ultimate goal of life. And in that moment, all is light. Your inner eye has opened. It is only through that single eye that light, that one becomes aware of the truth and existence, and that truth liberates. Who did he say you become aware of the fourth? Remember? Did you ever hear the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? There was 3 in the fire. Do you know what that means? That means that in the fire is your physical nature, your emotional nature, your intellectual nature. And then suddenly, in the middle of that fire, there's the fourth, your spirit. But only does that happen when you watch. And what did he just say? What did that man just say? Watch, watch, watch. What did Jesus Christ say here in Matthew? Watch, therefore, for you know not at what hour. And look at verse 43. If the good man of the house had known in that watch the thief would come, he would have watched. Don't you understand what Dave was talking about, what they were talking about this morning about the cancer cells and all that? How do you know? As Dave said, when the stress comes, you know what most of this is? Like this fellow that has cancer that we're going to bring here Tuesday night. You know what it is? The first thing is, why did it happen to me? What did I do? The clock is dredging up the past to stress you out. What happened to me? Why did I do this? Was it something I ate? Was it something I did? What? Why did it happen to me? And then naturally the clock swings to the right side and says, what's going to happen to me? Am I going to die? And now my life is over and all of these things because the clock in the mind doesn't know of the center. The clock knows what happened in the past and all of the ugly memories, and the clock knows what's going to happen in the future, and it scares you, it scares you. But the Guru says, and I love this, only when you bring the pendulum to the middle and stop it does the clock stop. And there's peace. And there's peace.
Observe and report. To whom? To the fourth, of course. You know what I'm saying? That old inner force. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think. When you was a baby, you couldn't do shit but think. You know what I'm saying? You didn't lose that thought, did you? Keep them thoughts, man. Happy thoughts. I remember everything from childhood. Hopefully I don't forget it. Shit, I know I won't. Shit's inside me. I keep good water, you know what I'm saying?
Wow! Oh my God! I knew something nefarious was going on.
I didn't know these folks was this cutthroat. Destination Smokehouse just did the OG Walter Johnson, aka Mr. Tenderism. Absolutely filthy. People have been calling out the red flags with Mr. Tenderism's partnership with Destination Smokehouse from day one, but I don't think anybody could have predicted how foul, how filthy, how dirty Destination Smokehouse would have done Mr. Tenderism. So the main issue a lot of people had from day one was when he figured out that the only reason why anybody was coming to the Destination Smokehouse and was coming to the restaurant was because of Mr. Tenderism, right, in his viral videos. So when people found out that he was not an owner, people were upset. People took to social media damn near looking to cancel and boycott Destination Smokehouse.
Finding out that Tenderism destination was not black owned was not on my bingo card in 2025. Especially people that talk about, well, me, as somebody that talks about generational trauma and reparations. For everybody saying, I don't see the problem with it. The fact that this man was able to grow a business is exactly what slaves did in this country. We picked cotton, we made the US billions, and then they gave us our freedom, and now we're still fighting for reparations in 2025, while every other nationality that has ever been wronged in this country has pretty much received some type of reparation.
Y'all owe her an apology. I ain't forget. I know who you are in the comments. I'm gonna go back to the original video. You owe her an apology, bruh. Because we called her, well, I'm telling on myself now, man. All right,
he said we.
Y'all called her crazy. A lot of y'all was in my comment section saying, man, bro, stop trying to ruin a good thing for the old man. Go get a job. Because a lot of us fell for the PR interview they did. During this PR interview, to get the public off their back, they used a whole lot of tricky words to manipulate us into thinking that they weren't exploiting Walter, that Mr. Tenderism, aka Walter, was actually an owner, but they didn't just outright say he's an owner. And that's how I knew they were using tricky language to manipulate, because if he was an owner, you would just say he's an owner.
To offer a tip to a business owner was crazy. That was the other thing too, is like he really thinks Walt is like this helpless guy who needs his help. How are you going to tip a business owner? Tip the whole staff.
That's the first time he referenced Walter as an owner. But when they asked him directly, is Walter an owner, watch how they duck goose it. Watch how they try to use tricky language to get around it.
People want to know, like, Walt, you're doing so much to help this brand, do Walter have ownership or equity in a Destination Smokehouse? Is that something that you can share?
Everybody's business ain't nobody's business. But this is how I put it out. I'm telling you that. It's my business. It's whatever. It's Nick's business. That sharing your business, all of this here, we just have Destination One in the nation. We on one kick. I can't get on sharing personal, how much money or this and that. I'm letting, okay, we cut this dude chase. He's not taking advantage of me. We're going to be here until the end.
And as far as ownership goes, as much as I'll say, because I'm going to respect Walt's privacy, Walt is definitely a part of this business. He is not an employee.
But yet, Walt ain't there no more, huh? That's weird, huh? It's weird. So, Mike, talk to you later. Okay, gotta go. All right, Beans. Catch you on Arc in a little while, I guess. I don't know if you're getting on. I'm probably gonna be on a little while. Bye, holla. Peace.
Solitude is not locking yourself up in a house. Solitude is a mental condition that you have to try to tune yourself in, whereas you can be in the crowd and be a million years away from the crowd. Isolation also is not only is you going to be, are you going to be everywhere the masses are you going to be, but not only that, you don't have to shut yourself in the house like a hermit, but we talk about a doggone attitude. So as we're not telling you to be better than your people you grew up with, you don't want to deal with them now because you consciousness. Isolation and solitude is also a certain spiritual awareness that you're going to deal with and all. And so it says, so you isolate yourself from the masses of humanity. By doing so, it liberates oneself. It liberates oneself from a vast number of influences of the masses. The influences that are detrimental to the initiatory process, which means these influence. So we're talking about isolating yourself mentally and some of that physically too. You see what I'm saying? It says the initiate's need for spirituality undifferentiated from humanity becomes less and less as the process accelerates. Which it means is some of you actually need to be in the in crowd, because that's that lower nature. You radiating off that, and once you radiating off that lower nature, you got to feed it by doggone appealing to somebody or making yourself look like something. You can basically, you care how you look in front of people. You understand what I'm saying? So that the way a person feels about you is more important than you raising yourself up, and that's the problem we got. So despite his solitude, and more because of the point of it, he is happy in happy in a self-contained individual, because he stands more and more outside the standards of common human measurements, evaluations. You see what I'm saying? The initiate is not only able to overcome a perfect serenity of all difficulties that might arise in his life, but also put behind him all doctrines of dogma, of outmoded religions, and of the masses, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, etc. Now, we're not talking about you can't read the scriptures. You see, and that's what we got to get out of, the organization of the way you take this particular stuff. Because he is not necessarily ruled by fashion, ruled by what you call the in crowd, or ruled by what you call the actual faddish phrase, by us being a faddish type person. So now it's key now that you have to become solitude in what you do, not necessarily saying I'm not going to be out. You got to do what you got to do, but this is the key right now, because now you're dealing with not only two different Americas, black and white, but now you're dealing with dead and alive. And the dead is vampires that will suck your energy. You see what I'm saying? It's hard to be around dead people now. Man, it just really sucks your energy. You see, all for one reason, because you know something, you want bad to tell that person something, but you know that the person just don't want to hear it, and because you know they don't want to hear it, you say, well, what the hell? So it's almost sucking your actual energy.
Because they turn your positive into negative. They charging you or discharging you. So let's get it right. All you have to do is observe. Let them get their shit through. And then when they done, say, are you done? And then the fight will be won. Because the only person that wins the fight is the one who isn't mad. Because the other person's going to get mad because they said all they wanted to say. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't going to be able to say nothing else because they ain't got shit to say.
No, you got to go back now and say, why was the NFL continuing to support with all the confusion going on in the media? And maybe it's all of that found money right there.
And then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about...
I'm not gonna lie, after we found out why Beyonce made a lot of the songs that she did and for what reasons, I am not shocked one bit to find out that Jay-Z is allegedly listed in the Epstein files.
50 Cent is still keeping his foot firmly on Jay-Z and Beyonce's necks, and now he's hinting that Beyonce herself might be tied into this whole Epstein situation. By now, you probably heard that Jay-Z's name popped up in those Epstein files. There's a woman claiming she woke up inside Epstein's mansion, and she says Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein were both in the room. And as soon as that information started circulating, 50 jumped on social media talking about how he wants to put together a whole documentary on Jay-Z and Epstein. 50 said, damn, they got your man Jay in the Epstein files. I gotta do a doc on this ish. But here's where Beyonce made a mistake, thinking she could control what 50 does. Allegedly, Beyonce got her lawyers to warn 50 to stop posting about Jay and Epstein. But as you can imagine, that just made things worse. So after 50 posted about possibly doing a documentary on Jay-Z's connection to Epstein, a source close to Beyonce said she would was furious because apparently the Carters had already paid off major media outlets to not talk about this. Even the Shade Room quietly deleted their post about Jay being named in the Epstein files. And notice how TMZ, People, Us Weekly, Complex, Billboard, none of these outlets touched this story. So the Carters probably thought this was going to blow over, but they clearly forgot about 50 Cent, because if there's ever an opportunity to shade Jay-Z, 50 is not letting it pass him by. And you know 50 lives for a threat. That man gets energized when folks think they can scare him. So after word got out that Beyonce allegedly sent her lawyers to warn 50 about speaking on Jay-Z and Epstein, 50 jumped right back on social media and shared a cryptic post hinting that Beyonce might want to back off. 50 also shared this AI-generated clip of himself and wrote in the caption, "I smell beef and popcorn." So now with 50 Cent stirring the pot, you just never know what else might come back up. We already saw how 50 dug up all kinds of stuff on Diddy for that documentary, things a lot of people didn't even know existed. So if he could do that, he could definitely do the same thing with the Carters. Now the real question is, can Beyonce actually stop 50 from making a documentary about Jay-Z? Well, the internet doesn't think so. Fans online are saying Beyonce might want to sit this one out, or better yet, call a divorce lawyer. But here's the thing, a lot of people are now starting to believe Beyonce might be complicit in whatever Jay-Z was allegedly involved in. And because of that, the divorce is highly unlikely. Because if we're being honest, Jay and Beyonce probably got dirt on each other, and it's safer for both of them to stay married. And let's not forget that Beyonce has had her own separate allegations floating around for years. Everything from claims that she sabotages other female artists to much darker rumors about black magic and so-called sacrifices. One of the most disturbing allegations came from former NFL player Larry Johnson, who claimed he once attended a weird party with Jay-Z and Beyonce that left him deeply disturbed. According to Johnson, this was back in the early 2000s at a late-night rap party the Carters were hosting in Colorado. He says there were people there who didn't look like adults at all, and that Beyonce allegedly made a comment that made him extremely uncomfortable.
Now, I did a Rockaware photo shoot in Colorado, and I think it was during the winter time of 06 or 07. And Naomi Campbell was there, actress Jamie King was there, Jay was there, B was there, and he rented this house, and we were supposed to do this rap party for this photo shoot. We rented this house, and we were watching LeBron play, and after the game, it had to have been like 10 or 11 o'clock. So we getting ready to party. Mind you, it's all adults. There was a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old teenage Latin girl that was there, and I think she had to leave because she had school and she had to do homework, but she brought her mother with her. So it was no funny business going on, which I could respect that. So when 11 o'clock hit, we turned on the music, we started drinking, and then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. For a rap party at 11 o'clock at night, drinking, loud music, and us dancing wild, like, I don't know where these kids came from. And then I happened to sit down because I was dancing with one of the assistants. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about, doesn't this look sexy, or isn't this sexy? And in my mind, and mind you, I'm not awakened as I'm awakened now. So in my mind, I'm like, what did she just say? And then I didn't pay no attention to it. And then, you know, obviously the liquor took hold of me and I had to leave. So I said bye to everybody and left. But those kids remained. I don't know if those kids were from the photo shoot themselves, but the fact that these kids came around adults during drinking hours or partying hours was already alarming to me.
And then there are also all those rumors about Beyonce being involved in some dark practices like witchcraft and rituals. These claims aren't just coming from random folks on the internet. They're
Her sacrificing cats, all that shit. All that shit. It's crazy. Probably not even her baby. Who the fuck even is this lady? I know she got some problems. Shit.
Take a listen.
Switch the rope.
Red Rover, I call Candace over. I found something in the Epstein files that may be a missing puzzle piece to the Charlie Kirk investigation. Let's get into it. So, after Charlie Kirk had passed away, we started seeing these articles pop up, which made me dig into Erica Kirk, and I found the Romanian Angels stuff. That video blew up, but I didn't have any lawyers sent after me. Instead, it was private investigators asking how I found this information, asking me to send them links. I knew at that point that I was on the right track, was suspecting that Erica Kirk could be involved in something bigger than what we're being told. So I've kept digging, because in every homicide investigation, A potential suspect is the spouse, especially when they have so much to gain, right? Now, this article that was posted shortly after Charlie Kirk's assassination by USA Today states that Erica Kirk worked as a real estate agent in New York City for the Corcoran Group. So if we're to believe the story that she works as a real estate agent for the Corcoran Group, then her boss would be Pamela Liebman, because Pamela has been the president and CEO of the Corcoran Group since 2000. At least that's what the public has been told. Now, in this Epstein document that's doing an official name search and alias for Lynn Forrester, aka Lindy Rothschild, it states that under her work affiliations that she is the Corcoran Group Inc. president. And it even shows her email, which is redacted. Now, this is a bit of a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, but if Erica was involved in anything sketchy and she needed to receive payment, having her work for the Corcoran Group as a real estate agent would be a very easy way to launder money, right?
Let me just tell you how God works. I don't actually peruse TikTok that often. And I got this video, I think somebody sent it to me. And I had just arrived at an interesting fact about Erica, because, you know, we've been working in the background on this timeline of her life, and it was about her real estate career. An interesting little tidbit that I can add here on her journey. It just so happens to be, like I said, this came across as I was noticing this inexplicable data point. The story that we are told, and the story that Charlie was told, the story that I was told, is that Erica and Charlie Kirk fell in love when he was interviewing her for a job with Turning Point USA.
Nah, nigga, you was set up. You was just another pawn to play on. And they played on.
Everything has to be repeated. Everything, in order to wake people up, they have to go back to the same situation. This is called, in my mind, this is related to the idea of a timeline shift. So just like they may have been fooled by the COVID Holocaust, and they may have fallen for it, the same announcers, like that CNN announcer who they say is Hugh Hefner's son. I don't know his name, but that he is now talking about Q. So the same people, the same situation, the same newswork and networks, and I assume this is why the white hats are not just taking down the whole news, the bad media, the evil media, the mainstream media, which is run by the CIA and the FBI, and it's all like a family. All the parasites get together, and if they're not working directly in the cabinet, their wives are working on CNBC. They're all in bed together, and they all probably eat children, and this kind of thing. It's like, well, what are you doing next Saturday? It's like, I'm gonna have some pizza. I mean, this is anyway. There is a growing sense of outrage. What I'm reading on X, finding out, and this is what Q told us, is that this will unite humanity across all lines, because the children, everything is about the kids, and you can't do there's almost, I can't imagine anything more horrible than hurting a child. I mean, what could be worse? I don't know. But that's what the Satanists like to do, because it goes against the idea of the divine. It hurts divinity in their sick way of thinking. So that we have to have a timeline. We have to be faced with the same situation, the same guys, the same reporters telling you a different message. But you have to go back and fix the timeline by repeating the same situation, the same set of circumstances that you were involved with, but having different results, which is also kind of linked up to the idea of game theory, in my mind.
See, there's certain things that you don't want to relive, but you learn from them so you don't have to. Now imagine just learning from everything you did, so you don't have to learn it again, or if it benefits you, you can utilize it in the daily access. You know what I'm saying? It's like people gotta think like this, but they don't.
If you're in Venezuela, Jamaica, any of those islands in that area, I warn you all to get out, especially Venezuela. Why? Because it's on the eye of this serpent. Y'all remember last year this time? We had already had 4 hurricanes by August of last year. The first time in 40 plus years that I've been alive that I've seen any hurricanes that early. Where those hurricanes at now? Y'all remember when content creators like myself was calling it out? And we showed you where they were, where the planes were, and what followed? Devil pull with the devil making all of you Christian worship him. Now, let's talk about it. Every Sunday, someone's in church screaming, hallelujah, hallelujah. And you all think that you're saying, praise God. Do you all know what Satan's name is in Hebrew? Hallel. U means you or your, and Yah means God. Hele, U, Yah. Hallelujah. Satan's your God. And if you don't believe me, here, watch this. It says here in the Vulgate, the Latin transition of the Hebrew Bible, the word Lucifer is used to translate the Hebrew word Hallel, which means shining one. Lucifer in Latin translates to light bringer or the morning star. The Latin word Lucifer was also used to translate the Hebrew Hallel in the Vulgate. So every time you say hallelujah, you are saying Lucifer's your God. Hallel, Lucifer. Ooh, you or your. Yah, God. The same as Yahweh, Yahshua.
You know, I didn't know that. But I said, I know now, man. Did not know that. That's kind of messed up. Tell you what, we don't write the books, man. It don't look good for us.
And this is the guy, billionaire Les Wexner, founder of Victoria's Secret, is now unredacted as a co-conspirator. He gave Epstein power of attorney and a Manhattan mansion. Wait a minute. So this guy gave Jeffrey Epstein a Manhattan mansion? Well, why would he do that? That seems a little bit like that's
well, wait
weird.
A minute.
Why would somebody just give away a mansion?
He gave
like
the man power of attorney. Who does that? Well, first off, the same dude that would threaten the dude saying, man, you say more than 5 words, I'm gonna have to get you killed, dude. That's, you know, when the dude next to you, Les, is talking like the dude that you're trying to confess sins against, Jeff, I tend to think that Jeff is still alive, Les. You know what I'm saying? And Tel Aviv pictures and photos and videos is telling us a story that I'm thinking is starting to be true. That's all I'm saying. All I'm going to say. This is for entertainment purposes only. YouTube, don't come for me. Twitch, don't hurt me. And Kick, you know what it is. You know what it is. Let's keep moving.
No wonder Putin is pissed. No wonder Trump's calling him a crazy man. They just try to blow his ass out of the sky. 45 drones. That's how many they sent. Zelensky sent. And Putin was able to fight him off. Of course, there's missiles going back and forth or going into Ukraine now. Yeah, I don't think he's going to play nice. I don't think Trump's going to be able to get in the middle of it. Zelensky's got the EU and the UK backing him, talking a big game. Germany's talking about sending missiles into Russia. Yeah, I think this is going to escalate. It's going to escalate fast, and it's really getting out of Trump's hands rather quickly. And it's going to turn into its own thing. I mean, it's already its own thing, but I really think it's going to fall. Where this was Ukraine with America's backing, it looks like it's going to be Ukraine with UK and EU backing versus Russia. And we have heard the red countries say they will back Russia if they have to.
Hmm. Hmm. That would be fucked up.
Yes, I have checked every single state, including Alaska and Hawaii, and not one governor is lawfully executing duty from a lawful office. Every single governor is executing duty from a vacant office, which means that we've been under occupation. We've been under occupation since the barriers have come, the ends of court have come. We have a constitutional republic, and they cannot use public funds to do this. And that's where we come in. We have to know the law. We have to understand that public funds cannot be used to take over the form of government. You can't use public taxpayer funds to violate the form of government. That is contempt of legislature, and that's what's happening. Nobody has constitutional authority. All the executive offices are vacant.
Okay. Okay. She knows something. She knows something.
A lot of people don't know this, but when I was about 14 or 15, my father lost his job, and I actually became homeless for quite some time. Of course, I grew up in Canada, so I thought we had just gone camping, you know.
All you know is you ended up living in a car. And, we'd use the facilities there. And
My father could have been a great comedian, but he didn't believe that that was possible for him. And so he made a conservative choice. Instead, he got a safe job as an accountant. And when I was 12 years old, he was let go from that safe job. And our family had to do whatever we could to survive. I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't want. So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.
It's important to remember, especially for me, I would never show up anywhere if I didn't understand that everyone was broken in some way.
You know, what am I is the central question. You know, why am I here? What am I? You know.
Don't get me wrong, you know, Jim Carrey is a great character, and I was lucky to get the part. But I don't think of that as me anymore.
It showed me that there were characters being played everywhere. As an actor, you play characters, and then if you go deep enough into those characters, you realize that your own character is pretty thin to begin with.
You know, and a lot of the characters I've done so far have been about duality, about what you show the world and what you really are. And so I've always been trying to reconcile the two. Oh, I was two people my whole life. I was in the living room entertaining people, being a monkey, you know, doing my thing for the company and trying to relieve my mother who was suffering. She had rheumatoid arthritis and phlebitis and everything under the sun that was nagging at her, and she was depressed. And I wanted her to be free. I am at the top of the mountain, and I was, and the only one I hadn't freed was myself, and that's when my search for identity deepened. I wondered who I'd be without my fame. Who would I be if I said things that people didn't want to hear? Or if I defied their expectations of me? I found myself subjugating Jim Carrey for Andy Kaufman and Tony Clifton, and then at the end of it looking for Jim Carrey again and having trouble finding him.
You know, and then you suddenly have this separation and go, well, who's Jim Carrey? Oh, he doesn't exist, actually.
I don't exist. They're all characters that I've played, including Jim Carrey, including Joel Barish, including any of those things. They're all characters.
Yeah, always stay humble to who you really are. You're just a person inside of a skin suit, controlling a skeleton that is holding you inside of a brain. You know what I'm saying? The mind is something that is linked to the higher conscious. You know what I'm saying? They don't want that. They don't want you to think about all of this. They want you to be inside of your head, brain dead, doing all the shit that they said. Go get these shots. Take this medicine. It's not gonna make you sick. Make you better. Oh, even in the infomercials, this shot may cause you to have liver cirrhosis. You might have a spleen that drops out of your butthole. If you have any herpes syphilades, consult a mortician for a grave or cremation, whatever. But the thing is, they want to control you. They want you to be the meat that supplies the human people so that they can have a whole bunch of people to fight for demons. Because that's what they is demons. They want your soul. They want to corrupt you. See, but the thing is, innocence is still on the fence, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Just because you are ignorant to the fact that shit's happening around you, everything has like a outcome of what you do with that. You know what I'm saying? Like you could choose to fund it or choose to not fund it. You know what I'm saying? So like me, I don't go to McDonald's and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I do smoke weed. Ain't nothing wrong with that because they don't want you doing that anyways because that helps you stay away from the system that they're trying to program you with. You know what I'm saying? But really, it's the CBD that does that. So if you ain't getting full spectrum weed and shit with the good shit, you ain't gonna be on it. But hey, that's it for tonight, y'all. I'd like to thank y'all for coming through. Y'all already know what it do. It's that time. Shit. We're gonna try to get some more arc up in here, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. Peace. We out.
Friends are some of the fakest people you ever have in your life. Because friends will never allow you to just be yourself. Oh man, nigga, you sound like you're getting weak. Oh man, you sound like you get. They ain't gonna let you say, man, I'm hurt right now, homie. I feel like hurt. They gonna go tell somebody, man, nigga talking about killing himself. So friends don't check on nobody. Family go check on your family. Because friends have to fake with one another. Friends have to be fake in order for us to be real friends. I can't tell you, nigga, you wrong when you wrong.
I felt that! My bad. That shit hit me. That shit hit me, man. That shit touched me on another level.
Homie, friends don't let each other be who they really want to be, my nigga. I got to be who you want me to be so we can remain friends. If I tell you I don't like this, I don't want to kick that nigga, I don't want to rob that nigga, and we from the same hood, but we friends. I can't go against my friend because my friend gonna quit me. So if I'm really your friend, I can tell you no. I can tell you I don't like this. I don't want to do this. Say, homie, I'm on the phone with my girl. Can you cut this down? And you don't say, oh man, nigga caking on the phone. My friend understand this is my girl. So when he heard me talking to my girl, he cut the music down. Without shaming me. Friends wake up every day to shame one another. Why do you want me to believe when you call me, homie, and we Jones and high side? What friends do with each other. But man, my family ain't gonna do this. So I build a family away from a family, nigga.
We had a saying where we would be like, peace, be safe. But then we heard Nipsey say, stay dangerous. And I never understood it. But then when I finally understood it, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Stay dangerous. Because when you are, you're aware. If you're part of the danger, you can see the danger around you as well. You have to stay dangerous. Because if we're not, we're going to get caught unaware. And then we're just a pawn being used. When you carry yourself like a king, you will be.
The real flex is how many lives you can positively impact. It's not about cars, clothes, or clout. Influence means nothing if you're not helping somebody to grow. The legacy you leave won't be measured by what you had, but by who you helped. Real power